Yes, people, what is going on? That was not a game of football I expected to see. Honestly, it was not. The scoreline we'll come on to in a moment, but Liverpool have just lost at Leicester 3-1 after taking the lead in the 70-odd minute, whatever it was, in the 67th minute. Get it factually correct for you all. In the 67th minute, and then 3 goals in 7 minutes means that Leicester beat them, come from behind and win. Leicester beating Liverpool shouldn't be that much of a shock. I think it's just more the way that it happened. But let's be honest, the game itself was a bit poor at times. It was fun to watch in certain points, but I'll be honest with you, I was falling asleep through parts of it. It's one of those ones. You don't want to kind of read too much into it, but neither team really today were at the races. But just given the opportunity, and obviously, again, we'll come on to the goals themselves, but given the opportunity, Leicester make the most of it. And it is just clinicalness down to an absolute T. Before I get into the video, make sure you smash the like button and make sure you smash the subscribe button. We're trying to push for 20k subs. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but we've got to believe. We've got to believe that it is. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the game. I'm going to run through some stats here just to kind of summarise how this game went in a nutshell. Shots, 11 for Leicester, 15 for Liverpool. Finished 3-1 Leicester, by the way. Just want to point that out. On target, 6-4 in favour of Leicester. 4 out of 15 shots on target for Liverpool. Less than a third. Less than a third. And they scored a quarter of those. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Leicester, 6 shots on target. They scored half. It's just insane. Possession, again, what I really want to get on to, 38% for Leicester. And they win the game 3-1. They win the game 3-1. Now, we all watched it. We can't say it was comfortable or whatever. Of course, they went behind with only 25 minutes or so left on the clock. But they still managed to, really, after a while, I mean, the goals, the way that they came, 78, 81 and then 85. We'll come on to the goals again in a moment. But the way they came so quick, Liverpool had no answer whatsoever. They had no answer. Now, of course, Liverpool fans are going to be a little bit annoyed. They're going to be raging to a certain degree. This team is basically punked through injuries. Like that's the bottom line. But their holes that they had pretty much last year that didn't get exploited until probably later on in the season, the latter stages, where people started to kind of depict them a little bit, like Watford managed to do them. Obviously, that was latter stages, but that was second half of the season. Man City, of course, pulled them apart. They are not an invincible team. They never, for me, last year, screamed that they were. It was just people were really afraid to go and get at certain bits. And Van Dijk is a massive player, of course. You can't really put a foot wrong in his defence, but he is out injured. That's a fact at the moment. So yeah, it's just nuts. It's honestly just nuts how Liverpool went from the best team in the land by an absolute country mile to now being so easily exposed in a matter of moments by Leicester. And it's happened multiple occasions throughout. And I'll be honest with you, Chelsea, obviously me being a Chelsea fan, in so many weeks when we have to play them again, or so many months, I can't remember what the actual date is. I think it's mid-March we play them. So about a month's time or so, I think. But this is the kind of game that if Chelsea can get, fully firing and whatever, it's something that we could do something in this game. We could, not going to say we're going to pipe them, but we genuinely could go and do something. But yeah, a team of Leicester's quality, they've got players going forward, but they still miss James Justin, who's now out for the rest of the season. That's gutting for them. That really is gutting for them. He's a superb player. I did a TikTok trend and I put him in as right back and people were crucifying me. He's a fantastic player. Big loss. They changed it around in the second half. They were trying to deal with that big loss. Leicester dealt with it better, with their injury better than very simply Liverpool dealt with theirs. That's situational. That's football. Let's come on to the game. Let's come on to the goals. Mo Salah's one. The assist from Bobby Firmino is just superb. The way the kind of the pirouette, I suppose it is, the little flick, and then puts it straight into Salah's path. I mean, he doesn't have to do anything more, does he? Salah's superb. He does what he needs to do. Finds the back of the net. Bish bash bosh. And to be honest with you, I felt like that was going to be the winner. And I even said it to my sister at half-time. She goes, how's this going? And I just said, this game has got 1-0 written all over it. And it's going to be one of the usual suspects for Liverpool. Go and pop up and get the goal. And how wrong was I? Real moment of madness, I suppose you could say, from Thiago. You know, I'll be honest with you, I don't think he's the same player that Liverpool hoped he would have been when they signed him in the summer. I don't think he's been wow. He's had good moments, but I don't think he's been like exceptional. He dangles a foot out for the first goal. Could have been a penalty. To be honest with you, I thought it should have been a penalty, but again, VAR makes the call. Outside the box, doesn't make a difference. James Maddison, who I stupidly left out of my fantasy team because I didn't know how well they were going to play today, goes and scores from the free kick directly. From a really wide position, just drilled straight in across the box. No one got a touch on it. Maybe, I don't know about Amate. I think it was Amate who dangled the foot at it, or Ndidi, one of the two. Maybe you could have done him for offside. I'm not sure, but either way it goes in, it counts, fair play. But then the second goal, the new geezer whose name I honestly forgotten. What is his name? His name is Kabak. 20 years of age, I believe, signed him from the Bundesliga. The second goal, him and Alisson had absolutely no communication at all. And it just reminded me of I think it was Nastasic and then Joe Hart against Torres many years ago for Chelsea. They both went for the same ball and just fucked it. That's the bottom line. They fucked it. And it just left Vardy with an open goal to tap it in. He ran it in a little bit more. He could have just taken one touch and that was it, gone on and done whatever he wanted to do. But that's what Vardy does. Vardy poaches. Vardy does poach. And he's very good at it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. That's his game. But he gambles, and that's something a lot of centre-forwards don't do enough of. He gambles, he's got the pace to back it up. And at 34 years of age, Cavani's 34, and everyone's talking about, oh, you've got to rest him and how many games he plays, blah, 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 blah. Jamie Vardy's playing pretty much week in, week out, and he's still producing madnesses. You know, to gamble and just go and see what happens, create your own luck. He's the best at it for me. He is superb. That was the second goal. And then the third goal is a lovely, lovely strike from... Why is my thing not moving? It's Harvey Barnes. But my thing is not moving. I don't know why. There we are. 85th minute. And... yeah, it just massively changed in a matter of moments, and Liverpool collapsed. That's the only way you can say it. Liverpool did collapse. They will be gutted. Chelsea are now a point behind Liverpool, and Liverpool have played a game more, I believe. Let me just get that completely correct for you. I do think that is right. Yeah, Liverpool have played 24, Chelsea have played 23, and they are a point ahead of us. Liverpool have lost 3 of the last 5 games. Nuts. Leicester move up to second. Obviously played a game more than Man United, who play later on today, and they are still many points behind Man City, who've got 2 games in hand anyway on them. But yeah, honestly, a really, really strange game of football, which changed in a matter of moments, which is... You know, that's the way the Premier League goes. You don't have to keep the ball for full 90 minutes to make it work. Clinicalness, giving you that edge. Someone like Maddison can do it. They had a massive debate on BT Sport whether he should go to the Euros. It's a joke. He should go. I don't care if we don't play number 10. You fit him in. He's that good. Yeah, you have these players. Vardy, for me, should be going to the Euros. But, I mean, obviously, I know he's in retirement at national football. If you give him the opportunity to go, I would be very surprised if he said no. But, yeah, it's Leicester, honestly, I mean this, are one of the most enjoyable sides to watch at the moment, and they weren't brilliant today, but they make the most of it when it comes round. When the opportunity comes, they will muller you. So fair play to them. Brendan Rodgers, superb coach. He won't come to Chelsea. Gutted about that. But a really, really good side. And I said it a few weeks ago, you know, Leicester fans, when we spoke to Chappie and we spoke to Neil from Beyond the 90, I think it is, good side, Leicester. A really, really good side. Expect to see more from them. Expect to see them in Champions League places, and who knows what they're going to be able to do next year in the Champions League. They'll have a poor group when I think they will qualify. They'll have a poor group because of, they'll have a poor part, I should say, because of their coefficient. But either way, they're a really good side to watch, and they will cause a lot of teams a lot of problems. So yeah, that's going to be it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. I will be reacting to the Anfield agenda. That will be out tomorrow. I'll be reacting to it this evening. That'll be out tomorrow about lunchtime. So make sure you check it out. Also got one more big game coming today. Tottenham and Man City. I can't remember which way around it is. I think it's at Man City. But yeah, I'll be reacting to that as well. So thank you for watching. If you're new around here, make sure you like, share and subscribe. And I'll see you back here for loads more content coming this month.